Alrighty, well, good morning, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started, and if anybody jumps in, they will just join us as they come in, and we are recording this, so once this is over, you will be able to find the link to rewatch this session on our website. That will link to our YouTube channel. So I'm not going to take any more time up. Linda, if you want to go ahead and take over, I'll let you introduce yourself, and we'll get started.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Heather. Well, I'm Linda Arrey, Nkwenti, and I'm the president of Women in Leadership, Development, and Empowerment. And we're a professional women's organization that come together. We bring our skill sets together to help communities. Some initiatives we're doing in the community right now is supporting our healthcare workers during this pandemic by providing medical grade masks. And we're also the host of the Women's Wellness and Business Conference, Give Mom a Break Day. And we do a lot of workshops in the community that really support women and children. And I love wearing heels, but when I'm not in 6-inch heels, I wear combat boots. I am a captain in the United States Air Force. And every 2 years, my role changes because I'm a medical service corps officer. We have 6 functional areas. So sometimes you will hear that I'm the chief information officer, but I'm currently sitting in as a chief financial officer right now. And I am so honored and just such a proud chamber member. So, and just, I'm glad to be here, and thank you all for taking time out to come hang out with me today. So, I look forward to us having some fun. So today I wanted to talk about teleworking and working from home, because this is something that is really new to a lot of us. Most of us, we had an office space we get up every day and went to, and then suddenly this pandemic happens and we're suddenly home. And, how are we dealing with that? How are we dealing with it mentally? How are we finding this new balance? Because leaving your home and going to work and coming back, you need different kind of skill sets and different kind of planning when it comes to balancing that all. And how do you stay productive while also increasing your momentum? So those are the things that we will talk about today, but I always like to start, because this will be a very interactive segment. So if you're hiding behind your camera, I'd like to see your beautiful face, okay? So I would like us to start about, maximizing your personal capital. So what exactly does that mean? Can somebody tell me, I would unmute, let's unmute everybody. Just can somebody tell me, what is your personal capital?
Or what? Oh.
What you can offer people, right?
Yes.
Are you looking
somebody
for
has anything else?
I didn't hear the question.
What is your personal capital? Because everybody should have a personal capital. What is your personal capital?
I think mine is my overall positivity. A lot of people during times like this, including myself, can, like we talked about, have down days and everything, but we always have to see the silver lining. So mine is definitely my positivity and my gift of encouragement.
Awesome. I know Crystal said what you can offer people. Stephanie said high positivity. So yes, we go around and we see, all these restaurants, companies, everybody has, they have their mission statements and stuff like that. And those mission statements represent what they offer society, what they offer their clients and services. Your personal capital is the same. It's like your mission statement, your potential. What do you bring to the table? What are your values? What is your purpose? All of those things put together is your personal capital. That's what, people say you come in a package. When you package the woman that you are, who's Heather as a whole, who's Crystal as a whole, what value do you bring? That is your personal capital. And I think before we start diving into, our professional lives and family, we need to first understand what our personal capital is. And some questions to help you understand that is asking yourself, who are you? How often do you ask yourself that question? And in times like this, especially during the pandemic, you know, it's so good for us to have that mental relief by reanalyzing ourselves and asking that question, who are you? Does your life's purpose, does your personal capital still align with all that is going on? And if it doesn't, what are you doing to realign with your life's purpose? What are you doing to realign with your personal capital and the value that you bring to your job, your business, and your family? But it starts by knowing the woman that you are. So it's so important periodically to ask yourself that question, who am I? What is my life's mission? If the chamber has a mission, you know, Stephanie, your business has a mission. I know you host all these beautiful events and stuff like that. They have a purpose and a message behind it. But the woman driving this businesses, what is your mission? Because if your life's mission doesn't align with everything else that you're doing, it's hard to actually navigate these things mentally, physically, and be productive. Because often, you know, we don't have jobs so we can make money. You know, money is a byproduct of us having employment and having jobs. We have jobs so we should make an impact, a purpose. You know, I send for example, the chamber, those emails you guys send every day, it means a lot to us small business owners. You know, I always, you know, find time to say, thank you guys for sending this email. Thank you guys. You guys, it's not a job. You're creating a difference. You're making an impact. So at every given time, we have to figure out what is our personal capital and does it still align with our life's mission and all the different facades and businesses and things that we do. And then what products and services are you offering? Whether it's in your home business, you know, what products and services? Is there still a need for those products and services? And will those products and services survive a natural disaster like what we are in today? You know, this pandemic has caused us to think beyond our imagination. It's causing us to get uncomfortable and figure out ways in which we can pivot. Because if your business is going to drown during this pandemic, your systems and processes are not in place. And if they're not in place, what are you doing to restructure your business? What are you doing to restructure your home structure so we can all pivot through this together? Again, it starts by asking those questions. And why should people care? That is another very important question. Why should people care that you wake up every day and send these emails? Why should people care that you put these events together? Why should your family care that you put dinner on the table? You know, all of those stuff. Those things make you reanalyze the woman that you are, the value that you bring, not just to yourself, to your family or your job, but to society in general. And why does every action, why do people care that I wake up from bed today? Those are the questions you ask yourself on those days that it's difficult for you to wake up. You know, my kids need to eat. My husband, I need to take care of my husband. If I don't send these emails, these businesses suffer. You know, that value that you bring, that personal capital, why do people care? And nothing changes. Once you figure out what your personal capital is, nothing changes simply because you now work from home. Nothing changes. So I just wanted us to first establish that, you know, every given situation you find yourself in, it's so important to ask yourself, what is my personal capital? And you figure out your personal capital by asking those questions that we just went over, you know, and then you're not working. Is everybody here new to working from home, or has everybody been working from home?
I've worked from home.
Okay.
For a few years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you enjoying it so far? So this is like your normal.
Yeah, I mean, I did it for probably almost 3.5 years.
Okay.
I had no problem with it because it went with me. If I wanted to go somewhere
and
visit the kids,
that's flexibility.
it went with me.
Awesome. Flexibility is key. So only Cynthia has been working from home all along?
I'm new.
Okay. Awesome. So, what I say is, what are some benefits, right, that you've experienced from working from home? And Cynthia just said, it goes with her. Flexibility. Flexibility is so key. We love to be flexible. We love to be able to do what we want, and where we want it, right? But what if I tell you that some of those things that are the benefits from working from home, they are also the same things that inhibit us from being, as productive, over flexibility. That means, it can equate to you saying that, you know what, I can do this. We talked earlier about me saying, maybe I'll wake up at 8 instead of 7. I can still catch up on emails and stuff like that. That those things that we consider being the positives of working from home, if we don't handle them the right way, they can also translate into the things that are causing us not to be too productive. I would like to slip into that. I can work in my PJs. I'm a PJ girl. If I can stay in PJs all day, yay. I enjoy that. And then you know what? I can take breaks whenever I want. I'm working from home, right? It's flexible. I can take my breaks whenever I want. And then I don't even need to be kempt. I can wake up, don't brush my teeth, please don't, and just, I'm ready for work. But people actually do those things because I'm working from home right now. Okay, I have to log in at 8. I wake up at 7:50 and just grab my computer. You look like crap. When you look like crap, you think like crap. Seriously. If you have to get on a Zoom call and hide yourself because you don't like the way you look at this moment, do you know that also translates into how you feel about yourself in that moment? You are not being as productive feeling that way, okay? Because when you have this flexibility and you're not utilizing it well, it leads to procrastination. I can do it later. It leads to you laying in bed all day on the couch and then not being productive. And what all of that does, it creates blur lines between, working hours, family time, what day of the week is it? How many of you throughout this period have woken up one day and you don't know if it's Wednesday or Thursday or Friday? Like, is it the weekend or is it Friday? These things happen, but if we stay on the same Monday through Friday routine, it's almost impossible for us to get to that place. Not saying it's a bad thing, but that should be a conscious decision to say that maybe I need to strengthen a little things, some things in some areas. So if we don't utilize this newfound freedom that we have effectively, it leads to underproductivity. And we don't want that, So I say, what are some ways that we can manage stress from home? What are some ways that we can be more productive at home? Statistics shows that the average person doesn't express stress in the workplace. The average person, when they are burnt out, they go to the people they can trust. They go to the people they are closest to say, I have anxiety. I'm worn out. They don't talk to their colleague at work. They don't go to their boss and say, this job is stressing me out. You only say that if you're ready to quit, right? Like, listen, I'm stressed, I'm done, bye. The average person goes to loved ones when they're dealing with work-related stress. And often, when you start experiencing a colleague or a coworker showing symptoms of stress, anxiety, and distress at work, it's already gone too far. Before they bring it to work, they've already started showing signs in their close network. So what now happens when your close, your close network also becomes your coworkers, the people you're living with, you're working with them? What happens when you're facing that situation now? You're working from home. Your husband is your coworker. Your kids are your coworker. Your loved ones are now your coworkers. How are you dealing with that mentally? It's so important that we realize those things, that listen, I don't have to worry about Ruth at work who doesn't talk to me in the morning. I don't care. But you're not working with the people you care about. You're sharing workspace and family space under the same roof. So it's another kind of stress. It's a different kind of stress. And it's so important that we realize our stresses. They, you know, they say you have to realize your stresses when you're at 30% before you reach burnout. But the reality is, we realize our stresses when we are so stressed out and about to jump off a cliff. That's when we say, I'm stressed. No. If you start seeing certain things are stressing you out, there's a time to tap out and address it and have a conversation. Not when it's reached the peak. So when your coworkers now become your loved ones and stuff like that, we have to deal with this, you know, differently. And it really starts by distinguishing your workspace and having effective communication. And you know what? I say, how many people on this call, I know a lot of you ladies said that you're new to working from home. When you got that call from your company saying you're now working from home, how many people sat down with their spouses, their significant others, your children, and had a business meeting? And I said, why don't we? Your living situation just changed drastically. You have to pull your family in and have a meeting. You know, I have business meetings with my spouse all the time. It's a different kind of meeting than with this pandemic, but we just incorporated that in there. You know, some of the things we talk about it in our business meeting is, you know, our communication. You know, how are we doing? You know, our first 2 years, I wasn't here and he wasn't here, you know, but because we have those meetings and we're intentional, we're listening to each other, and we're, you know, I look at myself and I'm proud of myself. I'm like, yeah, I didn't react. You know, we communicate, like you certain things happen and I'm like, well, I am a proud spouse. You know, so we have meetings to talk about our communication. We have meetings to talk about our finances. We have meetings to talk about our spiritual growth. You know, what church are we going to? We have meetings to talk about our savings, our children's future. We have meetings to talk about sex. We have our business meetings. We talk about those things that have to be talked about. We can't assume these things. So when your living situation drastically changes, it's important to have a business meeting with the people that you're living with to set clear expectations. You can't wake up the next morning and you're now working from home and he's probably mowing the lawn and you're mad that, but I'm working. You know, he's mowing the lawn, or maybe he wants to watch the game and stuff like that. You guys did not talk about expectations. You guys did not have the meeting to say that our living situation has changed. That means, you know what, our expectation management has changed. The best way to communicate effectively is to communicate. We can't assume that people know that you're now, you know, at home working and just expect everything to go as normal, because your living situation is not normal. You know, we have to set new expectations about space. Where am I going to be working? Where is my office? You know, where's your office? You know, when the kids cry, who's picking the kids? When I'm in office mode, if it's 7 to 4, who's going to do lunch? Who's taking care of the kids? Who's tutoring the kids today? You guys have to sit down and set clear expectations on each role that everybody will be playing, especially if you're both in work mode at the same time. If you can, you know, work out, you know, designated certain times for certain things, you guys have to have that conversation together. Set clear expectation management on house chores and everything, you know, from space to everything during this time that you are working from home. That is so important. That already eliminates a whole lot of stress on, you know, you being interrupted when you're working, or your spouse or children expecting something from you when you're working, and all the distractions, because they know that this is mommy's time. This is, you know, my wife's time. This is my girlfriend's time. You know, they already know this is your time. This is your space. These are the expectations, you know. And then finances. You're now working from home. Are you getting paid the same? Or did anybody get laid off? Did anybody get furloughed? You know, how has your finances been affected during this time? That's an important conversation a lot of families have not had, but it is important because it relieves you from stress. You're pulling your partner in and reiterating the fact that you guys are in this together. Where do you need to make adjustments, if at all? Some people are making more money from home. Some people are not. Some people took a huge pay cut. You know, some people would not survive this pandemic financially. But whatever your situation is, it's important to have, you know, a financial talk during your business meeting. You know, where do we need to invest more? Where do we need to cut back more? You know, do we need to change our saving plan? Do we need to change our future projections, our future goals? You know, all these things that we were on target for together as a family to accomplish. Do we need to make adjustments? If so, where? You know, or if your meetings, you guys check the box and say things are good, we're good, things are still normal, that's fine. But finance is one of the two top things that ruin relationships and marriages. And right now that you're in each other's space 24 hours a day, you don't want that additional stress worrying about the bills or money. You have to have an open conversation on where you guys are financially. That is so important. So once you've had that conversation, now it's time to deal with you and your workspace. How do we establish effective work boundaries, right? That is so important. You know, it starts again, you're going back to your personal capital. You know the woman you are, you know the kind of work environment you thrive in, so it's important. I always say, when are you most productive? Are you a morning person, an afternoon person, an evening person? Do you know when you are most productive? Who knows when they're most productive?
In the boxes.
I do.
Cynthia, when are you most productive?
6 a.m. in the morning. I get up, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, who else?
Come 8 o'clock at night, I'm done.
Okay.
Late afternoon to evening for me.
Okay.
Yep. I'm with Crystal on that one. Late afternoon to evening. I'm a night owl.
Especially working from home. I've figured that out a lot.
It's less distractions.
Yeah. I learned early on that I had to make sure that I was up before my work time, and I had my teeth brushed and I was ready to go for the day, because if I wasn't, I'd be completely unproductive in the morning.
That's a very important thing you just mentioned there, Crystal. Like getting up ahead of before your day starts. For me, I'm most productive when everybody's in bed, whether it's early in the morning or late at night. I thrive when places are quiet, you know? So that first hour of your day, if you just wake up, and this is a proven statistics, if you wake up just 1 more hour early than you usually wake up, that could be your most productive hour of the day. And I'm not saying wake up and check your Facebook or wake up and check your emails. No, you know, when you wake up and the first thing you do is grab your phone and you're on Facebook, you're working for other people. You're commenting on people's posts, you're boosting their likes, you're doing stuff for other people. You're checking emails and responding to people. If I email you and you respond back, you're servicing me. You have to make that first hour about you. Whether you want to wake up, meditate, do a workout, and then set a task to do, and I'll talk about setting your task in a little bit, you have to wake up, I promise you, you can start tomorrow. Wake up just 1 hour earlier than you always wake up, and tell me how productive that hour was. You got to make it about you. Again, not about somebody else. If you say this task I'm doing is how does that benefit me? That's the one question you should ask yourself. Don't go responding to people's emails. Forget about Facebook, I promise you. Do something for you. That will be your most productive hour of the day, you know. But coming back to, you know, what, setting up our effective work boundaries, you know, you have to start your day right. If you eat breakfast, I don't eat breakfast. My first meal is at noon or maybe dinner. For some reason, the whole breakfast is your most important meal don't work for me. But I think it works for 99% of people. So if you eat breakfast and you thrive when you eat, make sure you start your day right. Eat your breakfast. Don't sleep in until it's time for you to log on the computer, and then now you're on the computer hungry, you're not focusing. Give yourself time to wake up, you know, get dressed and ready for work, and have a good breakfast, and then come to your office space. And we talked about setting a designated area where you work from. It shouldn't be that, oh, the sun is bright outside, I'll work out on the porch today or this. Those are things you do for leisure stuff. Those are things you do when you want to write that journal, read that book. But you have to have a consistent work schedule to, you're kind of emulating your workspace at work. You come to work, you sit in the designated office. You have to do the same at home because you want to create a working environment so mentally your brain can get in sync with that you're actually working. Don't pick and choose places in the house to work in, because what you're telling your brain is I'm home, I'm last, I can do whatever I want. Pick a designated workspace. Have a comfortable chair in your workspace. I'm not saying go get a couch or a sofa to, lean back and you're on the computer now. But just make sure whatever chair you're using is comfortable. That is so important, So start your day right, whether it's meditation, working out, having a good breakfast, have a designated workspace. And then one thing that really works is, especially if you have children at home, canceling head noise. An earpiece that actually cancels noise, that helps a lot. You can put that on and you can be in the zone and not really think about, like I have construction going on in my backyard, now be a good time to put on my headpiece and not worry about that. So that really helps to have in your workspace. And then you also want to set clear working hours. If you've always worked, 7 to 4, do that. You're telling your brain that I am in work mode. Set your work hours. In between those work hours, set breaks. Another thing, if you're an extrovert or introvert, you need to know that as well. Do you thrive with people or thrive when people are not around? That would help you set your breaks within your schedule. If you're that person that can work 4 hours straight and take one break in the day, okay. Again, you have to know the woman that you are. We talked about that, because what works for A won't work for B. If you're that person that you easily get distracted, you actually schedule your distractions. What I recommend is every hour, take a 5 to 10 minute break. That's how you have scheduled distractions. During that break, you can grab water. You can, if you want to, you're dying to check your Facebook then or whatever. Schedule your distractions, 10 to 5 minutes every top of the hour. That is going to, replenish your brain, and then you can come back down. And dress for work. There is nothing like waking up and dressing as if you're about to walk into the life that you desire for yourself. Nothing. Yes, it's definitely said, I love that schedule your distractions. Yes, we have to schedule our distractions. You're controlling the situation. Wake up and get dressed like you're about to walk into the life that you desire for yourself. I'm not saying get up and dress to go to work. You have to dress for success. You have to dress as if you're about to walk into that life that you've designed for yourself, the woman that you want to be, And I'm not saying, I'm not putting on a suit. I just have a little tan, but just make sure you're comfortable and not looking a mess. Because it is so easy for us to wake up in the morning and just lazy around and just look a hot mess. And you're home with your spouse. Can you at least look good for you so you can in turn look good for your spouse or your significant other? Those things are important, and we can easily lose sight when we are not consciously making those decisions to better accommodate our working situation. And it starts by giving yourself enough time to actually do that. And in the same time, I shared with you earlier that I am a pajamas person. If you come home and you always change into your pajamas, do that. If your workday ends at 4, change your clothes and wear your comfortable home clothes. What that's doing is changing your mind that you are no longer at work. You're now in you're now changed into your home clothes, and now your mind is also transitioning into home mode. Because as important as it is that we structure our working time and be disciplined, it's also important that we also structure our time at home, and make sure you have a tidy workspace. I know I always joke when people say that my office desk is not tidy. I say I can find every paper on this desk. you know. But I also can agree that when it's more organized, I feel great. And mentally, I really feel good. You know, Einstein usually say, you know, he has this thing that he said that if a crowded desk means your brain is crowded, what then do you say about an empty desk? You know, so I'm not saying, you know what, clean your desk and just make it such that you can pick up stuff, you know, because you definitely want to put things on your workspace that inspire you, things on your workspace that really make you want to, you know, get the work done and do some, whether it's family pictures or stuff like that. And then one important thing that I urge you to do, if you're not already doing, is to zone out 15 to 30 minutes before your work day ends. Whether it's working from home or when you go back to the office, if at all you go back to the office, zone out and do a checklist for the next day. It's good to plan ahead for the month, plan ahead for the week. It's so important to break that down on a day-by-day basis. What you're doing is you're looking your goals for that week, and today is Thursday. I'm planning for tomorrow. It's telling me that I'm looking back from what I set out to accomplish this week. Where am I right now? And what do I need to be to meet the goal by Friday? And I use that mentality and do my notepad for tomorrow. And remember that 1 hour I talked about being your most productive hour? If you wake up on that 1 hour and you are going through your checklist for the next day, you know, today I do a checklist for tomorrow. When I wake up, I'm working for myself because I already have like tomorrow I want to do, I have to finish that proposal. And then, you know, for lunch, I'm going to have lunch with the kid, you know, do your list. Or I have to really be consistent with my workout goals and stuff like that. Whatever your list is, whether it's for personal growth or professional growth, do a checklist each day. The last 15 to 30 minutes of your day should be planning for the next day and analyzing your week. So when you wake up, there is no confusion on, you know, what should I be doing right now? No confusion at all. You already have a list for what your day would be like tomorrow. So that's called, you know, on-the-spot planning. We plan big. We put 5-year goals, 3-year goals, monthly goals, weekly goals. We do now on-the-spot planning, which is day by day. And it's breaking down and actually holding yourself accountable for those big goals and long-term goals that you have set out. So that is so important that you do that list. Another thing I would add to that, when you do your big term goals, whether it's the goal for the week, you have to break it down into 3 categories. The must pay bills. Those are the things that must be done, or you know what, it's like life and death. This must be accomplished or the business will not survive, or my home would not survive. And then you have those things that are essential, but no one dies if they're not done. And then you have those things that are important to do at some point, but they're not really, they don't have to be done right now. Because what you're doing is prioritizing. A lot of times it's so much going on, a lot that needs to be accomplished. And you may find yourself doing the things that maybe can wait 2 more months and losing sight of the thing that, oh my God, I was supposed to have done this yesterday. So when you are setting your goals and your work schedule, break them down into those 3 categories. Must pay, which are the must do, essential but can wait, and then needs to be done, but not right now. That helps you prioritize and actually makes your job a lot easier. And then you also, you know, we talked about, you know, taking, you know, scheduling your breaks and stuff like that. That is so important. Once you schedule those breaks, avoid taking breaks outside of your scheduled breaks. You can say, you know what, at the top of the hour, I'll take 10 minutes. And then you come back to your desk and 10 minutes later, that's when you want to use the restroom. Like, go use the restroom during your 10-minute break. You know, you want to make sure your actual work time is productive. So you have to be disciplined and hold yourself accountable. I'm not saying pee on your desk. If you have to pee, by all means, go. But just, you know, you got to train your mind to say, this is my break time and I'm about, you know, I will go utilize the restroom or get my snack during that time and stuff like that. It makes you maximize your time at home like you're in the office. Please stay off social media. There's no boss looking at you. You know, that is you. When you look at yourself on that computer, you are holding yourself accountable. You know, use your social media during those breaks, because I promise you, there have been days I hold my phone and I'm on social media, and by the time I know it, it's been an hour. That happens. An hour straight browsing through social media, wasting my precious time and looking for what I don't know. So you want to maximize your time. Stay off social media when it's time to work. When you're now on your you time and it's not work time, you can at least look back and feel that gratitude that you actually kicked butt today. You did a great job. You accomplished those things that you set out to accomplish, and they are done, you know, with stuff like that. And I say leave work at work. This is one of the most challenging things that we find ourselves not being able to do, not being able to leave work at work. Talk about when you are working at work, like your home now becomes your work. How do you leave work at work? You start by those transitions, you know, dressing for work, dressing for home. That's how you start training your mind to tune up. And when you shut that computer, don't feel the urge to check one last email. No, it can wait till tomorrow. Don't feel the edge to say, oh, let me write one more proposal just because I'm home and my work computer is here. No. When you shut your computer for the day, it's time for you to transition into wife mode, mom mode, whatever mode it is. It's time for you to focus on family time, on you time. You have to be disciplined for work and also be present physically and mentally for your home and for your family. It takes discipline, but you must practice leaving work at work, you know, and wake up the next day and practice this same routine again, because discipline and consistency is so important. It's key. You can't do it today and then tomorrow you're back to old habits. It doesn't work like that. And when you stay disciplined and consistent, it becomes a part of you. You know that, you know what, this is my workspace. And until that time where you go back to your office, you can actually take some of those habits back, you know, to your office. And one thing before I close the session, I really ask of each and every one of us is to practice a heart of gratitude. That goes such a long way. You know, we have almost 22 billion people out of work right now. And we get a chance to say that we are working from home. We are still gainfully employed. And we are working with the best coworkers ever, our families. Well, I know some, you know, we have the best coworkers. Let's have a heart of gratitude. Let's give our family the best customer service, because a lot of us are in customer service business. You know, when you have a great customer service that you want to go write a review. As we work from home, let's give them the best of ourselves. Let's be grateful. And let's show up each day, put our best foot forward, and be the rock stars that we are. So I thank you all for joining in. I know a lot of you on the call. For those I have not had the pleasure of meeting, I would just share some of my, you know, my contact information with you. Let me see. Well, this is not working like I thought, but okay. So if you're looking to connect with me, that's how you can connect with me. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And if you have any questions, you know, I'm here. I'm on the Chambers time right now. So let me see, did I not? All right. Okay, Heather, I think it's over to you, ma'am.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Linda. I could seriously listen to you talk all day.
Yes, thank you, Linda.
So motivational. I feel like I mean, I live at home by myself. It's just me and my dog, but I'm like, I need to treat my dog with some customer service.
we all do. They did the best of us right now, I tell you. It's so easy to get, you know, frustrated with the people that are most closest to you.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I mean, even you had mentioned the getting up an hour early every day. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a late afternoon, evening kind of gal, but I really do think that just getting up an hour early would probably, it might make me a little bit more of an early afternoon, maybe late morning person. I think you had a lot of great points. I'm really glad that we were able to record this. I'm so thankful that you were willing to jump on here and do a real help in real time for us. I can't wait to see, some of the responses we get when we post this, because I'm sure people that weren't able to make it will go back and watch. And again, your contact info is here, so hopefully you get some follow-up from this. So thank you very much, Linda. It was great to see your face. I'm glad to see that you're still healthy and, keeping on, right?
We are keeping on for sure. And I'm appreciative. I love the chamber. Thank you guys for all you do. And, honestly, this has been the best chamber that I've belonged to plenty, because, my job, we every so often we're somewhere else, but I definitely enjoy the work that you guys do and how you guys take care of us. So
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That means the world to us. Really, it does. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and end this Zoom session. So thank you guys all for coming. Thank you again, Linda, and hopefully we see one another soon.
Soon. We're actually doing the Working Mothers Win virtual summit tomorrow. So if any of you can find it from any of my contact information. Just another great opportunity for us to network and grow together.
Perfect. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Enjoy your day and take care.